Welcome back to BawseCrew. Woo! Hello, hello, everybody.
Hello.
No party people today, Taiwo?
Party
There
people.
it
There
is.
Yes.
We
it
were
is.
we
All
were
right.
waiting.
Whew.
I had to
I
do a
was
mic
like,
check real quick.
okay.
What were they gonna do without that? Like we would have
I
had to
don't know
start
what I
over.
was gonna do.
I
I know.
know.
I would have been like, hold up, pause, cut.
No,
But
we here. We here.
yeah, woo. Okay. So, guys, today we're going to discuss a very important topic. It's not just one, but kind of three different types of hacking uh, agendas, I guess, that
Techniques.
hackers techniques. There we go. Techniques that are used. So, let's help with that ishing. All right. Vishing, phishing, and smishing. You probably are like, what the hell is all this? Unless you're in the field already, then you're like, oh, this is gonna be interesting. So if you know, you know. So, let's start by a quick background on what each one is. Okay. So let's start with phishing. Phishing is usually that email you get from work, that email that you get from some prince in Abu Dhabi who's like, "Can you send me some money? I will make you my queen."
Through
I
Western
don't.
Union, of course.
Yeah, Western
Yeah.
Union, MoneyGram. I don't think those exist anymore, but back in
If
the
you
day.
if you know, you know.
Okay, we're dating ourselves now, guys.
We are. I'm not
I'm not
that old, I
touching that one.
promise.
I'm not touching it this week.
Ty was like, I'm staying silent this week.
I'm not touching it this week.
Uh, that brings us to vishing. Vishing is those phone calls you're getting from all those annoying retailers talking about your car warranty. Do you want a new home loan with a lower rate? How they can help you? Yes, there are a lot of Indians calling right now. I am going to admit to that. A whole different issue. We won't touch that right now. And last but not least, smishing. That's all those SMS text messages you're getting,
Yes. Yes.
All
whether
the
they're
time.
real deals or they're asking, "Hey, it's Jane. Do you remember me?" Like, Jane, who are you and stop texting me? I don't know you. Right now, I get phone calls and messages for Lona Come. I don't know who the hell Lona Come is. Like, that ain't me. Nowhere near me. Like, okay, is it because I'm Asian? Like, that's racist. I'm just gonna okay, just okay. Somebody take over because I'm getting like
So
angry now.
so now if we're gonna really break it down, because we're gonna look at it from different age groups, right? I mean,
Yes.
obviously amongst ourselves that we have this knowledge and everything that we do. Obviously, we're not going to be the ones falling for the phishing scams traditionally. Not saying it doesn't happen, with
Mhm.
business or work protocols through those emails, because sometimes you skim past them and you don't read the header or
Mhm.
the font or that little weird little four-digit end of the email that doesn't line up with how it should be in your
Mhm.
inbox. But I will say the phishing scams for the voice calls are becoming very elaborate, and this is why I'm fearful. We got a lot of the older generation that now has been more caught up with technology, and everything is more streamlined to the cell phones, tablets per se. I'm not gonna say people don't check their emails, but there's just a lot of emails, and a lot of that goes by the wayside. But I
Mhm.
will tell you, and we did touch on this last week with two-way authentication, a lot of people get locked into that phishing scam. They get on that call, they don't realize
Mhm.
it's, a robot. They give that info and then they double down with the smishing scam because then when they're
Mhm.
sent that code, they click that link and then they go right through and that's a bigger
Mhm.
problem. I personally feel like phishing is the biggest one that out of all of them is going to become a bigger problem. I want to
Mhm.
know your guys' thoughts because I already see it already at my position where I work, where we get these calls and my coworkers can't even detect it until a minute into the call. And then they're ready to hang up the phone or they pass it off to me and they're trying to decipher if it's real or Google reservations trying to bypass and enter into our system. So I want to know your opinions on which one is the biggest risk nowadays.
You know, Lorenzo, I think, and you hinted on this. I think the attacks are maybe almost generational. If that's even might be even possible,
No, you're correct.
because um the smishing, I know I have some younger cousins, relatives.
Mm-hmm.
They often tell me they get a lot of texts, random
Mm-hmm.
texts that they have no idea, and some of them have links in it. I just always advise them just to delete. I don't click on anything.
Mm-hmm.
Um, the Vishing, I would say a lot of seniors, they get those calls, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, oh, this is so and so. Your I don't know, your account may be in jeopardy for this. And you know, a lot of older people, they do. They have tons of different accounts. Sometimes they don't remember what they have an account to.
Mhm.
And they may be more at risk for that. And I think within our group, our range, we see a lot of emails because we are um on our laptops or whatever it is, and we get a lot of different emails. Order things, and you know how when you order stuff, they send you the tracking stuff through your
Mm-hmm.
email. So we do see a lot of different emails, and for some reason, whenever I order something, it seems to open up a door for other random emails that just come out of
Mhm.
nowhere. And I'm
Yes.
like, what is this? Where is this coming? I don't even like. Why am I even getting this? I'm like, shouldn't it
Mhm.
just go straight to my junk? Like, I have
Doesn't
no
it
idea
bypass
It's
what
it,
this
get
even
it
I was
is.
gonna
bypass
say they're getting
Yes,
smarter.
bypasses.
It's starting to bypass
yes,
the spam filters, the junk filters,
Mm-hmm.
and now you're getting them.
Mm-hmm.
Because
yes.
I'm seeing that too. There's a lot of phishing emails coming through where in the past I've seen them in my junk folder. And now I'm starting to see them in my regular folder, so I got to do it all over again, report them, make sure I block it, the whole nine. And you're right, they're seeping through.
It
I had a
is.
phishing email come through, claiming they were Apple, that my iCloud storage was going to be disconnected unless I updated it, and I needed to pay to update it. And I said this is not real. I said,
Mhm.
this is not real. I said, I'm just gonna forward this. So I got two of them, and I have sent them both over to Apple, and they responded back, you know, that they was gonna look into them, and that yeah,
Mhm.
they wouldn't email me about my, you know, iCloud storage being having to pay to upgrade my iCloud storage. You know,
Mhm.
that wouldn't have came up like that.
Yeah, they wouldn't
So
give you a push notification for that.
yeah,
Mhm.
exactly. So it's you're right. It's definitely bypassing the junk. I don't know if they just gotten better with bypassing. Maybe it's just the right uh keywords
Mhm.
in the email title that's able to bypass your junk notification. But usually I delete it. Like you we was talking offline before. I
Mhm.
delete a lot of emails that I don't I just don't want to read it. Like I have no
Mhm.
first I have no need for this. I don't even know what it is, and I delete. I just
Mhm.
delete all.
Yeah.
Delete
Mhm.
all. That's my saying. Delete all.
Well, I think it comes down to a point where, like, maybe say 10 years ago, right? Because now we're in 2025. 10 years ago, everything was so email predicated through advertisements and things like that. And now it's more in your face.
Mhm.
So scammers are now realizing this, and now they're having to come up with more creative ways to basically rope people in because they know the odds of you looking at all your 100 emails per day from Stop and Shop and Petco and, the farmer's market, you're not going to end up clicking on, unless you're, no offense to anyone watching this, 85 and you get 5 emails a day, the odds of you clicking on that might be slim to none. So I
Mhm.
think now a lot of those things are more predicated towards, social media. I know a lot of people, my generation, um, unfortunately, actually getting scammed through phishing
Mhm.
emails, through targeted stuff on Instagram, and them clicking on
Mm.
that, logging into their account, and then bada bing, bada boom, getting locked out, and then they lose their account. And unfortunately, a lot of these companies, once access is given over to, the attacker, it's done because that
Mhm.
person is going in and changing all the
Yeah.
passwords, all
Yeah.
the profile pictures, they're removing all the content, and then they own your account, even with two-way authentication, if you have that
Yeah.
set up, which most people don't. And this is why we
Yeah.
said this last week. Turn
Mhm.
on that two-way authentication. Because I know a lot of people still don't have that, and they got like a nice simple password on their social media account. Your
Yep.
Instagram's gonna get hacked. I promise you, Facebook
Mhm.
doesn't care.
Oh,
They
They
don't. They
don't
don't.
care. They're not
They
gonna help
don't.
you.
And I think that should be one of our segments on a side note is how to create good
two-factor
passwords.
password.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Yes. I love
Oh
that.
yeah.
Yeah. So look for that in the future, guys. We'll definitely get into that.
And we could
Yes.
probably even show how to crack a very simple password, just to show how easy it is to
Yes.
Yeah.
be cracked.
Yeah, literally,
I love
literally. So
that.
that's coming up then for sure. Because
Look,
right now we're getting attacked in every single thing that we do on a daily basis because this is our whole life. This is this has everything in it.
Yeah.
Once they can get into this,
GG's.
it's done.
yeah.
It is done. Like you're
Let me ask you guys a question, because with Vishing, so for me, if I don't know the number, I don't answer
mhm,
it.
Mm-hmm.
But I've noticed people will answer. They get a call and they'll pick it up.
Mm-hmm.
I don't I don't
they get
understand that.
spoofed.
So I like that you asked that question, and I want to
Mhm.
give actual real example because I completely forgot about this until now. So you're right. A personal user will not pick up like me, like on my cell phone. It's going to go right to voicemail. Apple's going to read me out the voice message like verbatim on my screen. I'll know in 10 seconds, bada bing, bada boom, if it's going in the trash. However, though, since I work in a restaurant, like I told you guys, and I delegate the work with to go, I see this scam all the time, and I don't know how to stop it. Where the call comes in, it's a representative from DoorDash, you know, it's a phishing scam, but
Mm,
they intertwine it with a phishing scam, and this is how it goes. So the guy or lady, whoever it is that wants to talk, will talk to one of the people at my job if I'm not on the floor, and they will say that we just recently sent over your DoorDash tablet, which we do have a contract with DoorDash, and we need to update some features. Can you please confirm the email that you have with the account? Typical protocol, nothing to think about it. They know the name of the business, they know the name of the owner, all public information. They can confirm with the phone number, yada, yada, yada. Sounds all nice and pretty. This is when they get you, though. So what they do is they then will try to orchestrate whoever it is to then basically go into the email, and they're going to send an email over, you know, as it would be for phishing. It looks legit,
Mhm.
and they're going to provide their own security code to send over to the email. You give them the code, you log into the page, and then you basically hand them over access to the whole business account on DoorDash so that a way they can liquidate the funds.
mm,
I think this was Christian's same point that he made about his friend that was a
Yes.
Lyft driver, because they try to get you to think that they work for this company, and they
Mhm.
basically will rope it first through the phone call and then send that fake email underneath and layer it sweetly. A
Mhm.
real person, but layer that nicely, and then once they're in, they extract whatever funds are in that account and then they liquidate it.
Mhm.
So I think it's a little bit of both nowadays.
Okay.
And I think they're getting a little bit more creative because they know they're not going to get you on that email straight up. But you gotta really ask some questions.
Yeah,
Um,
you
if you're
do.
on that phone call, you gotta ask
You
them
really do.
what information they have on you because if that's a real rep, they're gonna know everything about you when they
Right.
make that call. And no offense, 9 out of 10 times, a company's not gonna call you directly unless you
Mhm.
submitted a submission ticket. So just
Right.
remember
Mhm.
that. They're not gonna go out of,
Mhm.
not that you're not important, but they're not going to go out of their way to contact you for something unless it's a high security protocol company or you're dealing with some sort of business. DoorDash does not need to know your updates on the tablet. So if anyone else deals with this in their job or workforce or whatever, please be mindful. They're getting very creative with these things, and thankfully we do block
Mhm.
those calls, but they always come in like once every month,
Yeah.
and I tell all my coworkers the same thing that it's a scam and you can hang up, but it is getting better, and I hate to say that, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, and the other end too, Tybo, is spoofing. They will spoof the phone numbers now.
oh
So they'll
yes,
keep calling, and you might think it's your grandma calling. You're like, oh, grandma's calling me. And it'll be somebody saying, oh, she needs money for blah, blah, blah. I just found whatever
yeah,
story they say.
yeah,
That you think it's a legitimate number calling you for a legitimate reason, just to find out, no, it wasn't. So I think that's where, especially, I want to say the elderly are getting scammed because we've said this in the past where it's like, oh, hey, like they're pretending to be their niece, the nephew, the granddaughter, whatever, trying to call for money. And once you send over that money or you send over that password, it's a wrap.
yeah,
It's a wrap. And it's too easy these days because, like you guys said, they're making it look so real. Like at work, from now on, when I get emails from my boss, from my coworkers, I message them on Teams.
yeah,
Like I am
it,
on them. I will text them, whatever way I need to contact them, I directly contact them. Hey, did you send me this email with
yeah,
this information in it? If not, it's garbage because
Yeah.
part of the problem is I feel like there's bots listening to us every day, all day. When we're having a conversation about shoes, about clothes, whatever, H&M or Gap, it's all getting recorded somewhere.
yeah.
So I had a conversation with my boss about something for work. I got an email on that same topic from my boss, and
Oh
I'm
yes,
looking at it like, oh, okay. Like he was gonna send me an email, so I didn't think anything of it. And so that's the other thing that's becoming a problem is these conversations that we have. There's listeners, there's feelers out there. There's the bots. That's what they're called, bots. They're
hmm
listening. They're collecting information. Where that information goes, who knows? Who knows?
So theoretically speaking, though, I and I guess there's some irony in this because obviously we're delegating into the tech field. Do we think that it's best if you can to limit your usage of access on, let's say, your phone if you're on the computer? And I only say this because you're correct, Mindy. Like some points where like I'll be talking or having a conversation, and then I get targeted ads on my social media feed about the same, not even
Mm-hmm.
category, directed
Exact. Yep.
item that I was
Mm-hmm.
talking about in my feed
Mm-hmm.
because of all the
Uh,
permissions that I've allowed in my phone. And
yeah.
it comes down to a point where you're like, do I really need to put on airplane mode for my phone while I'm at work? And I hate saying that because like you got to be accessible and people got priorities and families and things and they need to,
Right. Yeah.
but it gets to a point where you're like, it might be time to like really start cutting the cord at certain
Mm-hmm.
environments because it's getting to be invasive.
It is. It is. And
Think
that's how
I,
it starts.
yeah, no, I think probably I think in the terms of safety, right?
hmm
Mm-hmm.
Security
hmm
and mm, wow.
It's two sides of the coin because like
Yeah,
we're in this field and we always talk about like proper management and things like that, and like how it's so amazing, this technology, but at the same time too, it
Yeah,
comes with a cost, because if you're not
double-edged
delegating
sword.
things, it is.
Yeah.
If you're not delegating things properly, then it's almost a target against yourself. So you
It
have to be
is.
very self-aware and take those ethical protocols to mitigate the things that you need to do for
Mm-hmm.
your just as a regular user.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
obviously we're not professionals or anything like that, and we're trying to practice in this field, guys. But the small things do matter, and
they
like
do.
you'd be I see it all the time at my job. I see people that get scammed. I see people that fall for these traps. I see it all the time. I see people that leave their phones behind with no passwords. Do you know
Mm-hmm.
how many times at the end of the week I can go into someone's phone? They have no security protocol for Siri accessibility, and I can call sister, brother, or mother and ask Siri to call someone out if they left their phone behind. And 9 times out of 10, I get the customer to come back within 10 minutes because they don't
Wow.
even have these protocols on their phone. It's the simple things, and people don't
Yeah,
even think about this. And
they
I
don't.
had my coworker tell me the other day, and she's like, "How would you even think to know that?" And I'm like, "Because most people don't even set these parameters on their
Yeah,
phone, and
yeah.
there's no
Human error.
passcode." And thank God, we have morals and things. But imagine a malicious person going, what you can do.
Mm-hmm.
Oh
Human
my
error.
gosh.
Mm-hmm.
That's what they
I'm just
say,
Okay.
like, you
right?
leave your phone at a festival, like let's say, because we're on the East Coast, the Big E or something, and someone picks that up, dude,
It's done. It's gone.
dude,
Uh,
you're
It's gone.
done. You're done. And
right.
people
That's what
just
they
are
say.
clueless.
Human error, right? Human error is the
Mm-hmm.
number one cause of
Clueless.
most hacks, right? The
Clueless.
Mm-hmm.
human error is that
Mm-hmm.
lack of either awareness or
Yep.
just
Yep.
wanting to take the extra step to set up a level of security to protect yourself. It's,
Yeah.
oh no, I'll be all right. My phone is always in my hand. Oh, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna
Yeah,
put it
I
down.
have.
And
I
that
always have it with me.
and I think we was talking about this one time too, because we was talking about ways to get people's information. Because with Apple's new tap feature, we was talking about how people would just put their phone down on a counter, get their coffee, and how you could just put yours down right next to theirs and bump it, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just get
Well,
that old bump.
that's one part of it. What about the other part where people don't turn off their Wi-Fi and Bluetooth when they're out of the house or when it's not connected to something that they trust?
Yes.
It
Right.
is so easy for you to even just be next to a person who has Bluetooth ready accessible to
Mhm.
Yeah.
just hack right in. And it's
Yes.
these
Yes.
little things that make
Yeah.
a huge difference. And it's crazy how mindful you have to be. I actually, like you said, Lorenzo, I went through my phone and I looked at permissions on apps that I use frequently.
Yeah.
And I'm like, does this app need all of these permissions? And if they
No.
didn't, I took
No.
it out.
No, you
I
don't.
I dialed
And
it
it's
back.
all your
I'm
apps,
like,
mind you, all of
Yeah.
I
them
know. I
automatically
know.
sync. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
nobody, Apple's not going to give you a manual for that, because like they love
Mm-mm.
releasing all your information to these third-party apps and things like that.
Mhm.
That's the whole name of the game, like that's the whole enticing thing for these companies, how they get you. That's
Mhm.
how you pay all the money on the extra subscriptions and everything like that. But things like that lead to scenarios like this. When your data is
Mhm.
exposed and you're vulnerable, then people are invited to come in and swoop in and do the dirty work. You
Mhm.
know, we and in our business, because we were a smaller business that I work at, obviously those things were not tightened up like on the website and things like that. A lot of things were open sourced, and then it allowed a lot of people to just openly call us and just bombard us with like, phishing scams and
Mhm.
Vishing scam, like all different variations, whether it was like telemarketers or scammers or data
Mhm.
extractors, all that in the first 2 years, because none of those protocols were set up. And, a lot of these smaller businesses are exposed to that. It's just people just trying to make an honest living, and they know what they
Yeah.
know, and they just leave all their things open, websites and simple passwords on their merchant website logins, and
Mhm.
their tablets that they're just given over with no passwords in these things. It's just easily accessible, and it's dangerous. So
It is. Yeah.
I think
Absolutely.
nowadays it's a generational thing, to tie it all back together. there's just so many different variations, and it really starts with the little things. Do the small
Mm-hmm.
things to protect yourself so you don't invite those types of people to come in and even give sniff you a chance, I'd call it. Don't let
Yeah.
them don't let them try because if you give
No.
an inch, they'll take a mile. So,
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
And again,
And the other thing is always be suspicious of
oh
yes.
yeah,
everything.
Oh
oh
yes.
yes,
Everything.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
unless you confirm with the person, hey, you are the one who sent me this.
Yeah. No.
And specifically on something you've talked to this person before, not just a random, like, oh, I just got their phone number from this email or whatever. Go direct to the source.
Oh yeah.
Hey, did you send me this email?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I just want to make one more point, Tybo, before I forget. The other thing I'm noticing is with the phishing, there are a lot of fake job phishing emails going on.
Yes. And
And
text
it
messages.
is getting freaking annoying.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Just
Yeah.
so, mm, that
And
is one thing that it's preying on the people who are
Vulnerable.
easy. Yeah, vulnerable. It's their vulnerability because they're looking for a job and you know they are. And how do you get them? By sending this phishing email. Hey, just found
let
this
me just
job.
share with you how bolden they are. So about 2 weeks ago on LinkedIn, there was a
Mhm.
post that came up about a company that had they were hiring basically. I don't remember. I wish I would have saved this so I could have shared it.
Hmm.
Mhm.
And it's in this field. It's in the cybersecurity field, and probably the wrong space to try to spoof a group of people or just random people that are trying
Mhm.
to get employment in this field. But there was a couple of people that was fooled with it, but there was a lot of
Mhm.
people that really picked it apart and just because as you read it, you start to notice little things that were off about the post, and then
Mm.
quite a few comments of people were just like, um, don't click on this. This is all fake. There's nothing real
Mhm.
about this. This is not even a real company. I think they was even using AI to generate it and to respond to some of the posts. Up, when people were clicking on things. So
Mhm.
that just gives you an indication of how advanced um, these attackers are
Mhm.
getting with trying to again get your information by
Yeah.
all costs. And
Mhm.
I know when we started doing these shows, when we started talking about this information, um, one of the things that we've said is how advanced and how in greater abundance this is going to start becoming on a daily basis. And it really is. It's happening so much every day. Large number of people are getting attacked. And
Mhm.
I don't know what more has to be said to get the average day person to fully understand if you do not do the smallest things. Let me
Yeah.
just say this, and I was just saying this to my wife earlier today. I said our infrastructure is being stripped down to the bare bones.
Mhm.
You know what that means? That means companies are not going to have to do the utmost to protect. So you're going to have to take it upon yourself to be vigilant and to just protect yourself. Now, all companies are not going to completely leave you out there to hang because they want
Mhm.
your business. So they're going to still do their parts. But people have to take this stuff serious.
Mhm.
If you just consciously choose I'm okay. They're not gonna go after me. I don't have anything to really lose.
Mhm.
That is not the point. You do got something to lose. You in in the 20 plus people that you have in your phone contact list have something to lose. And
Mhm.
then they and their 20 plus contacts, and then their 20 plus contacts have something to lose. So it goes
Mhm.
on and on and on and on. Again, a few months ago, um, the Social Security was compromised. Our Social Security's numbers are out there right now.
Mhm.
That's still something that hasn't been dealt with. It's
Mhm.
kind of been glossed underneath, under the rug. So we all don't know if our Social Securities are compromised. We'll find out shortly, but again, if you don't do the bare minimum to protect yourself, a 12 to 14 to 16 length passcode, two-factor authentication. Okay, if you're not doing those, when you get from a particular company that you have an email already associated, I mean a password associated with, and they tell you in 30, 60 days you will be asked to change this password. Go in and change the damn password.
Mhm.
Okay, change the password. Make it something long, something strong that cannot be figured out.
Yes,
Mhm.
I
Because
agree.
we know we have the resources, we know the tools that could be used to crack a password. And
Mhm.
we're going to show that here. But when you see it and you see how simple it is, you're going to be telling yourself, okay,
Mhm.
maybe I need to take this more serious.
Mhm.
Side note, and we are not sponsored by LastPass. If you want to make everything nice and easy and all nice and simple, please sign up for LastPass, $5.99. Everything all protected, one password, keeps all your passwords safe. No, I'm just kidding. But
I'm dead. But I mean,
we could get
sure,
sponsorship
you sh-
though.
we
But
should. But you should have a trusted password protector. Now, I
yes,
think this is also another controversial thing because it's like, is there anything that's really trusted? Is there really anything that protects your password fully? I mean, hackers are getting smarter and smarter. Hackers are hacking. That's their life. Like that's what they do best. So
yes, yes.
it's hard to pick any one, but there are a lot out there that are trusted. LastPass is one of them.
Yes.
One Password. Um, what's the other big one? Uh,
Some protection's better than no protection, you know?
I mean,
You're gonna
I,
waste it on Clash of Clans subscription anyways, so you might as well sign up, have all your
mm-hmm.
passwords stored, because you're basically giving it to Google, when you're on Google Chrome for free. So let's be a little mindful
Okay.
here, guys. If you're listening in, New Year's resolution, sign up for one of these companies. And we're not sponsored, but we would love to be sponsored. And if
Yes.
anyone sees this, we will promote you. So,
Yes. And I was gonna make a really like funny joke. Um, I thought about it for a second. I'm just gonna make it. A condom is better than raw dogging it. Just throw that out there. Just throw that out there. So, some protection is better than no. Just throw that out there, okay? Just 99.999. Right? Is that still
you're
okay?
not wrong
Views and
there.
expressions
I'm
by the
just
host are not.
I'm just saying.
Not
I'm just
the
throwing that out there,
not
okay?
the expression I was thinking of.
The
Just
views
This
and
okay.
week's episode
expressions
is
of the
not
host
PG
are
friendly.
It's
solely
Strictly
not.
rated
the
R,
host,
ladies and
not the
gentlemen.
sponsors.
That took a
Sponsorship
Or
just
turn.
went out the window.
BawseCrew does not condone the views and the expressions of the host. I repeat.
So we're gonna end. We'll edit that in the ending credits at the end. Oh, that was funny. But all right,
Oh, all
so
right, guys.
looping this
That's
all
a
back
wrap for me.
together. Fishing,
Yeah.
smishing, vishing. Please be mindful, take small protocols, and guys, get LastPass.
Yeah,
Just
and
get
suspect
LastPass.
everything. Suspect
Just
Suspect
everything.
just
everything.
be
It's
Yes.
all a lie. It's all fake.
yes.
That's
Unless you get
all
it from a
right.
source directly out of their mouth, better than nothing. Saying that they're the ones who send you that email, that phone call. Especially if it's like retail, not retail, well, I guess retail, like DoorDash. If they're calling you, go directly to their website and call them. Like, hey, did you just call me? Did you need me really? Or was it just fake?
Yes.
That's the best way. Always go to their direct app or website
Yes.
and call those numbers.
Right.
So, all right, guys, that's all I got. You guys got anything else to add?
I think we gave enough knowledge today
Phishing,
All
phishing,
on
right.
all
phishing.
different levels.
All different levels. All right. This is BawseCrew signing out. Bye.
Peace.